Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me, whether you're catching me now live or you're going to catch me via the replay. And if you are a replay viewer, please take a moment to put replay viewer in the comments so I can definitely shout you out at a later time. I appreciate you guys joining me on the broadcast. My name is LaShawn Adesemilolu. I am a serial entrepreneur, author, tax accountant, and the co-founder of this lovely platform that you're joining me on now, Rise Business Solutions. And we help tax entrepreneurs build, scale, and sell profitable tax businesses. We do this through online courses, resources, and books, mastermind sessions, all designed to help the solo tax entrepreneur. So if you are a tax entrepreneur or if you know somebody that is looking to get started in the industry, please feel free to connect them with us. It would be an honor to help them on their journey. Today, guys, I'm doing this live to talk about a little four-letter word that keeps most of us stuck in our tracks. And it might not be the four-letter word that you're thinking about. It is fear. Fear. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. Now, fear is something that keeps a lot of us, whether we're entrepreneurs or not, stuck in a certain position in our lives or in our business because we're not willing to step outside of our comfort zone. So today we're going to talk about fear, what to do when we recognize fear, how to push past it, and how it's going to help us up level in our lives. So first, let's talk about what is fear. Fear to me manifests quite a few different ways. It can be that voice that's in the back of your head telling you you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not strong enough to accomplish something or to do a certain task that's going to help you up level in your business or life. It can also manifest physically as a butterfly feeling, a feeling of general unwell being whenever we're confronted with having to do that something. And you know what it is for you. That's something that is going to make you uncomfortable and push you outside of your comfort zone. Now, fear is not necessarily our enemy, but we have to do a couple of things when we recognize that there is fear involved in keeping us from our best life. First, we need to acknowledge the fear, right? We need to name it and call it out. I see you, fear. I see you. Then we need to accept the fear. Because all it's doing is helping us recognize that we have to do something to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, right? So we acknowledge, we accept, and then we go ahead and push past the fear, all right? So the reason that we need to do these 3 steps is because when we feel the fear and we do it anyway, we're able to expand our comfort zone. And once we expand our comfort zone, we're going to start to experience more growth, more fulfillment, and more success in our lives. So we have to do it. So just to give you guys an example, many times in my life, in my personal life and in my business life, I have definitely experienced fear. Most recently, last year, my husband and I, who founded this business, we decided to seek out the assistance of business coaches so that we can up level in our business. We really wanted to grow faster than we were growing. And so one of the first assignments that my business coach had us do was to write down where we were now and write down where we wanted to be. So essentially, we had to think of our ideal life in our business and then identify those gaps. What was keeping us from getting to that ideal life? Once we recognized those gaps, we had to see how basically it was just an excuse, it's just fear that was preventing us from doing certain things. So for me, I recognized that it was a problem of visibility and imposter syndrome. Although I have been in a tax accountant, for the last 7 years, it was still a feeling that more people have been doing this longer than I have. Do I really have the street cred and education required for people to take me seriously as an authority figure? So I decided, I'm going to go ahead and write a book. That's what I'll do. I'll write a book and I'll let people know that I'm very knowledgeable about this topic and that will solve all my problems. And that was fine. I wrote a book, From Tax Preparer to Business Owner, the step-by-step guide to starting the tax business. It's available on Amazon, iTunes, Audible. You can get it anywhere. So I wrote this book, and I felt great about myself because more people knew that I was an authority figure. I got more clients. It was great. But I still had to expand to the level that I wanted to be. And I recognized it's because I wasn't visible enough. And I had a couple of people contact me like, you wrote a book. I would love for you to come and present a workshop to our audience, talk about the book, give us some tax tips. And I was excited, like, wow, people want me to come and speak to their audience. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. But I noticed that excuses would keep coming up to prevent me from actually following through with these appearances. And I recognized, like, LaShawn, you might have an aversion to speaking in public. So I acknowledged the fear, and I accepted that it was a legitimate fear. And so I needed to push past the fear was the next step. So I decided, at the recommendation of my business coaches, Grace and Charlotte at the time, the founders of One Less Stress Connect. I highly recommend them if you are looking for a business coach. They recommended that I go ahead and join my local Toastmasters. And for those of you who might not be familiar with Toastmasters, it is an organization that is basically designed to help you become a more proficient speaker. And so, I went and I looked at the meeting, and I was very impressed, and I decided to join. And so not long after I joined, I want to say the following week, I got a lot of pressure, which was a good thing, from the president, like, when are you going to give your icebreaker speech? And I was like, I thought I could just kind of, watch everybody do their speeches for a while. I didn't know you were going to push me right out, into the front. But I was excited. I was up for the challenge because it's a really supportive environment. And when I gave my icebreaker speech, I was really excited because I didn't take it easy on that. I decided that I was really going to be vulnerable with my audience and share something that, really impacted me on my journey. And so for me, that was when something very tragic occurred about 6 years ago for me. My cousin, who was like a brother to me, he was my best friend. We lived together at the time. He was tragically murdered. And even though that was one of the roughest times in my life, that was kind of one of the greatest things of my life too, because it actually inspired me to start putting myself out there. I really felt like YOLO, you only live once, so why not go after all my dreams and just go do that? Because some people never have the opportunity to do that. And so after that happened, in my life, I took the steps to start traveling internationally more. So I took my first trip to Africa. I started a travel blog. I decided to begin working for myself and leave that 9-to-5. And I took all these actions that pushed me past fear because I felt like I didn't have another choice. And so I shared that story with everybody in my Toastmasters. And even though in that moment when I was delivering that speech, it was very scary for me, afterwards, after I pushed past it, I was so inspired because everybody was sharing how inspiring it was for them. So I acknowledged the fear, I accepted the fear, and I pushed past that fear. So I just want to give a message to everybody that is going to be watching this to push past that fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because that is what's going to help you expand your comfort zone. It's what's going to help you up level in life. It's what's going to help you reach the next level. I really hope this video was valuable to you. If it was, please leave me a comment and let me know. Give me a thumb up or some hearts. I definitely will go back and respond to everybody who comments. I will be back tomorrow with another exciting topic for you all. Thank you so much for catching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.